This is one of the healthy egg recipes I have adopted from my in-laws' family. This traditional Persian recipe, known as Kuku Sabzi, is loaded with greens, lightly seasoned with anti-inflammatory seasoning, and is highly nutritious. To eat alongside this frittata, I've made sourdough bread yesterday and left it in a fridge overnight to make barberry bread, so I can make it today to eat fresh with frittata. To make this frittata, I have a bunch of garlic chives, and since I'm cooking it with less oil, I swapped 50% of the chives for leeks to add extra moisture. This is 200 grams of garlic chives and 200 grams of leek with 4 medium eggs. To make it simple, the vegetables are twice as much as the eggs. Chives typically come with so much dirt on them, so here's a trick for removing stubborn dirt from a bunch of veggies easily. Bring a big container filled with water and soak all the chives in. This will let the dirt fall on the bottom surface. Add a little bit of white vinegar, close the container with an airtight lid, and give it a good shake to loosen the dirt from the leaves. Now I'll leave it on the counter for the dirt to trap down. This has already been washed, so I'm going to slice them as thin as I can. Although this type of leek is not traditional in the recipe, it belongs to the same onion family. They add moisture and a nice sweetness to the frittata without changing much of the original Persian recipe. Now that all the dirt has sunk, gently leave the chives. Give them another rinse to wash off the remaining dirt, and now this needs to dry. You can use a salad spinner to dry them fast, which is my ideal choice, or you can also rub them in a towel and pat them dry. Before I go ahead and slice it, I'm going to chop off the bud. This can be a lot if you're not used to cutting veggies, so for a quicker method, you can cut them shorter and blend them in a food processor for a quick grind. Once done, transfer them to a big bowl, and now I'm going to combine all other ingredients. Now since all the ingredients in, I'm going to mix them with a spatula until fully combined. To start cooking, I'm going to heat a non-stick frying pan. Add a tablespoon of light olive oil and spread it evenly on the surface. Maybe use a brush to grease the sides because it's as important as the bottom part. Gently pour the mixture in. I'm just going to spread the greens and flatten the surface with a spatula and let it cook slowly over medium to low heat so it cooks through the center without burning the bottom surface. To retain the moisture, I like to cover it with lid, but it's totally optional. In my in-laws' house back in Iran, we typically pair this frittata with fresh barberry bread. If you wonder how it is, it pretty much resembles Italian focaccia. I make a sourdough version of it because it's generally lower in gluten content, and making bread from scratch is a fun way to have bread from time to time in a way that makes my husband feel at home. You don't need to make bread from scratch. This frittata is also great with rice. Check the recipe below for detailed ingredients and variation. Once the side seems drier and no longer jiggly, I'm going to flip to cook on the other side. But first, gently scrape the side and bottom to loosen it a little. While at it, check the bottom if it's brown enough. When you can do this, meaning it's no longer sticky. So go ahead and flip it over a flat dish. Now from the dish, going back to a pan gently. If flipping seems too difficult, you can also place the pan in an oven and switch to the upper heat setting to brown the top for 10 minutes. Same time for this method. What you see here is not the oil or the egg, it's the juice from the leeks. Once you see it reduced, turn off the heat and transfer it to a dish. So I did a quick QA with my in-law and she approved it. This is a Persian barberry bread I just baked, and I'm gonna make a wholesome traditional sandwich with the frittata.
I hope you enjoyed this recipe and do subscribe to my channel for more wholesome recipes like this. Till next time!